In tonight with how a lightning rod works. All right, ready? Here's a house with a lightning rod on it. If lightning is going to strike a building, if all goes well, the lightning rod should get hit first and then conduct the energy of the lightning bolt down a wire safely to the ground. The big idea is that you divert the power of the lightning into this device that it's designed to be able to take and conduct safely to the ground all this heat and all this energy to thereby protect the structure to which the lightning rod is attached. The structure that lightning rod General Stanley McCrystal now stands atop, the structure to which he is attached and that he protects, is the war in Afghanistan. The counterinsurgency doctrine that he has implemented that has tripled the number of U.S. troops in Afghanistan since George W. Bush left office in what is now America's longest war ever. Here's what it looks like when lightning hits that particular lightning rod. This is the latest front pager. Look at this. From the military newspaper Stars and Stripes, a general's contempt. It leads, quote, President Barack Obama faces two grim choices on Wednesday: fire General Stanley McCrystal and risk looking like he's lost control of the war in Afghanistan, or keep him and risk losing like he's lost control of his generals.
Right now, it will be the president who must decide whether he has trust and confidence in General McCrystal to continue to command this war.
The president will speak with General McCrystal about his comments, and we'll have more to say after that meeting.
Is McCrystal's job safe?
We'll have more to say after that meeting.
I couldn't believe General McCrystal, being the good soldier that I think he is, at least in this article, not being a very good soldier.
I think it's clear that the article in which he and his team appeared showed poor judgment.
All this is raining down on General Stanley McCrystal right now because of impolitic quotes attributed both to him and to his closest staff in an article in Rolling Stone magazine by reporter Michael Hastings.
McCrystal told aides President Obama looked uncomfortable and intimidated at a meeting at the Pentagon.
It was McCrystal and his aides who were unplugged, showing contempt and disdain for the president.
This is personal gossip. This is personal laundry.
Is this insubordination? What does the law say?
They make fun of the vice president. They make fun of the president's national security advisor.
McCrystal and his aides disparaged President Obama, mocked Vice President Biden, called the national security advisor a clown.
Those quotes give you some taste of what the media coverage of this has been like today. Those are the specifics that are being cited in explaining what's coming down on General McCrystal. And if that seems like a lot of criticism to come under for essentially saying mean things about people you work with, it's because it is more than that. I mean, first of all, in this case, the people you work with include the President of the United States, at whose direction you are conducting a major war and to whom you are constitutionally required to answer. But second, this is lightning. This mega media attention that has followed these snarky comments in Rolling Stone is not just about the snarky comments themselves, and it is not just about General Stanley McCrystal. It is about what General McCrystal represents. America's strategy in Afghanistan, America's war in Afghanistan. Saying rude things about other people you work with, even your boss, even the president, it may not be enough to bring down this much heat under normal circumstances. The reason these comments have brought down this much heat is because General McCrystal is acting as a lightning rod. He is the lightning rod protecting the structure of what we are doing in Afghanistan. He is Mr. Counterinsurgency. He's the personification and the leader of this doctrine that has led a president who said he wanted to make the focus in Afghanistan very narrow, who said he wanted to not get bogged down in a quagmire, who said he wanted to not do nation building, that led a president with those goals to triple the number of troops that we've got there in year 9 of the war. And so now General McCrystal has attracted all of this light and heat to himself with these unfortunate impolitic comments. like a lightning rod does. But the question is, will he actually work as a lightning rod? Will he function that way? Will he continue to attract all the attention to himself as an individual so that this all remains just a General McCrystal issue, just a General McCrystal problem? Or will he be unable to contain this light and this heat and this energy from traveling down to the structure that he's protecting, the whole idea behind this war effort? That is actually what Michael Hastings' article in Rolling Stone is about. It's about General McCrystal, not just as a guy who drinks Bud Light Lime and talks trash with his staff. It's about General McCrystal as a true believer and a leader in a doctrine that is getting very, very hard to justify in America's longest war. Joining us now is retired Army Colonel Douglas Macgregor, who's author of the book Warrior's Rage. Colonel Macgregor is cited by Michael Hastings in his Rolling Stone article as a critic of the counterinsurgency doctrine. Colonel Macgregor, thank you very much for coming on the show again.
Oh, thank you, Rachel.
If the president chose to remove General McCrystal over these comments, do you think that he would be justified in doing so?
Oh, absolutely, without question. Setting aside all of the imprudent remarks that you've already covered, one of the things that McCrystal does in the article is he expresses an acute lack of confidence in the validity of the very tactics, that is, counterinsurgency, that he urged the president to adopt last fall. And if you've got a commander in the field who has serious questions about the validity of the approach that he's taking, that in and of itself is justification, in my judgment, to call him back and ultimately to replace him with someone else.
Do you think this scandal presents a real opportunity for us, not in theory, not in academic terms, but a real opportunity right now for us to rethink our strategy in Afghanistan? Is there a competing strategy available other than counterinsurgency to explain, justify, and give a purpose to what our troops are doing there now?
Absolutely. This is a golden opportunity. In my judgment, what the president should do is remove McCrystal and announce that he's going to appoint someone else. And that new commanding officer is going to have 30 days to make an appraisal and come back to the president with recommendations regarding what we should do. One of the things that Americans don't seem to understand is that what we've been doing is clearly an extension of what's been going on under the Bush administration for many, many years. If you go back to Bob Woodward's book, State of Denial, he recounts a conversation between General Retired Keane, the former Vice Chief of Staff of the Army, and Secretary Gates, and he asks him, this is before the Obama election, don't you want these policies to continue? Don't you want us to continue doing in Iraq and to expand what we're doing in Afghanistan? And Gates says, well, yes, we want to continue these policies. And Keane says, well, then you have got to appoint the commanders in the field who are aligned with us, who will pursue these policies. And you have four-star generals now who've been moved into key positions who are aligned with the policies of the past. McCrystal was not put into Afghanistan to change anything. He was put there to pick up this counterinsurgency doctrine, which was presented to him by General Petraeus, and to dramatically expand our commitment in Afghanistan. That's what he's done.
Colonel Macgregor, I know that you knew General McCrystal as a cadet at West Point many years ago and knew him for years after that. In terms of what has become of his career, his role right now in pushing counterinsurgency as a justification for continued involvement in Afghanistan, the General McCrystal portrayed in this article today, do you recognize him over the course of the time that you've known him from his early career?
In some ways, yes. People don't really change dramatically. First of all, Stan McCrystal is a nice person, and you would enjoy having a beer with him. But Stan McCrystal is an infantry officer. He doesn't have a background in the kinds of things, frankly, that he's been asked to do. And I think McCrystal has come to the realization that what he's been asked to do isn't going to happen with the resources he's got. And I think he knows that Afghanistan is not a place where you can create Western institutions, new governments, new ways of doing business. This is a very backward place. It's very diverse. He's got a very different set of requirements than I think he ever anticipated.
Colonel Douglas Macgregor, thank you very much for your time tonight, sir. Really appreciate your insight here.
Thank you.